Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, well, you're here. I love it. Keep coming back. So I'm about to do a reading for you guys. I asked what this reading is going to be about, and what I heard is they tried to. No, that's not it. Oh, stop it. I didn't save it. What I heard is dreams are about to come true. If I could just get myself straight, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Anywho. All right, so let me get my cards. All right. This is the deck, okay? Let me just. I think I just injured myself. Good job, girl. Anyways, so what is your dream? I'm super curious what's going to be coming true. It feels like there are things that are going to be put into play for you, and whatever these things are that are being put into play, there are things that you want so badly. Ooh, I just felt a whole bunch of attention on you. I just felt a whole bunch of attention, a whole bunch of focus on you. I'm just going to go ahead and pull some cards. Okay, I'm going to pull some cards, and we're going to let the cards do the speaking. It has been a busy AF day. Just kind of share with you guys. For some reason, I woke up super early. Sorry, I wasn't live with y'all this morning. I woke up super early and like 5 a.m. And I was like, oh, we gotta go to the gym. Literally, like, we gotta go to the gym. We gotta go. And, I will say I did a personal best today. Well, I think I've done more than this before. I'm pretty sure I have. But I will share this with you guys just so I could, toot my horn a little bit. So I can when I say toot my horn, I'm talking about celebrating. I gotta turn my Wi-Fi back on. I'm talking about, celebrating what I did. Celebrating it. You know what I'm saying? And I do have one more thing to share with you guys. I am like ridiculously proud of us as a community. You know what we did last night? We did something amazing last night. We did something super amazing. Let me share a few things. I want to show you guys what we did together. Where is it? It's right there. It's right there. I want to share this with you guys as well. I've spoken to Karen. She's gotten an update. She posted it on her page about Danny's condition. They're thinking that he should be well enough to go to a regular room tomorrow. They did have to sedate him today. Based on her post, he got a little bit of the angst. Yeah, he was like, no, he's well enough to go. And the doctors were like, no, you're not. So, they did have to sedate him for his own well-being. First, look at this. Boop, right there. Oh, wait. 61,284 pounds in 2 hours and 16 minutes with 46 seconds. I did 32 exercises, 2 new records. That's like 10.2 elephants. Booyah! Okay. Anyways, what we did yesterday as a community, I want to show it to you guys. $828 in a matter of a couple hours. We did that for them. We did that for them. And, you know, it's gone a long way in helping to comfort, you know, an older couple that are very worried about the cost of living, about what's going to happen, how are they going to make it through such a rough situation. And we did this, you guys, as a community. We raised $828. In addition to that, I do believe from the names that I recognize on their GoFundMe, and let me give you guys the link for their GoFundMe. The names that I recognize on their GoFundMe, you guys, here's the GoFundMe link. You guys also helped raise another additional, I think almost $1,000, I want to say. Quite a good amount. I think just shy of $1,000. So, you know, we're doing amazing things as individuals and as a community. We're doing amazing things. The ways in which we are using our personal power, our decisions to support others in, of course, reasonable ways where you know, it's still within reason of what we can do. It's powerful. It's powerful to be able to show an older couple that they do matter. You know, they matter. People care. The world still has goodness in it. Yeah. Yeah. Colors was just very grateful. She wanted me to express her gratitude to all of us. And she put it so beautifully as she's grown with age. She's come to realize the true value of time, energy, resources. And she's just so grateful that all of us came together as a community and you know, gave all of those things in addition to the funds. Okay. She's just so grateful. So thank you guys so much. Now I'm hot. Now I'm burning up. Okay, let's get started. Dreams are coming true. Okay. I don't know what dreams, they better be good ones. They better be good ones. I'm just saying. Okay, guys, they better be good ones. So let's get started. And again, here's a GoFundMe link. It's on Facebook and on YouTube. If you guys want to go ahead and give what you can, if you can, that would be amazing. If you can't give, just share it out. That would also be very amazing. Spreading the word is just as powerful as sending the money. Okay. So, oh, and with the amount that we did raise for them, I'm not going to be sending it through GoFundMe. Karen has Colors Magica. Karen, she's given me an address to go ahead and mail a physical check. And that will be a donation from Soulwork Synergistics, our church, our community. And she's going to be receiving that directly so that GoFundMe doesn't take that 3% from her. Okay. Let's get started. All right. You're being shown exactly what to do, but you're going to have to take a risk. That risk is requiring for you to receive a message, but it's like you don't feel like you're capable of receiving it. See, right now you're very rigid. You're being shown what you need to do and what you need to do to really bring your dreams into fruition. It requires taking a massive risk. a risk that will pay off if you're listening to the guidance of your soul. Now, message in reverse tells me that you might not be listening to the guidance of your soul. Why? Well, because your self worth is a little bit distorted. Many of us struggle with self worth stuff. And some of the most common ways that self worth struggle expresses itself is when we refuse to believe or struggle to accept that we are, in fact, intuitively guided, right? Because you are intuitively guided. I had a dear friend ask me recently, how do I discern when I'm communicating with my higher self? Most people don't know how to discern if they're communicating with their higher self. Most people are like, oh, I don't know. How can I tell? Well, if you can tell, that's probably not your higher self. Your higher self is you. So, when you're having those conversations with yourself, when you are there talking to yourself, no one else is in the room, and you're arguing with yourself about a decision that needs to be made, a direction that you need to go in, or, whatever it is, who do you think you're talking to? Yourself, your higher self. You're so divinely guided. You are so divinely guided and gifted that you mistake it as you just talking to yourself. Who do you think you're talking to? Your higher self is the self, just a higher aspect of it. And if it's the self, I mean, why would it sound like someone else? Why would it be appearing as like a creature outside of you? Are you waiting for something angelic to step forward and be like, child of God, my child of God, the Lord God has asked me to guide you through the valley of shadow? No, it's not how it works. Your higher self speaks in the exact same language and inflection that you do. You are very, very divinely guided. The sooner you can accept that, the sooner you'll be able to navigate through whatever this minefield of testing is. Okay. How long will the GoFundMe be available? Will it expire? So the GoFundMe, I didn't create it. I'm just sharing it out. I believe their family, their friend, I'm not even sure who it is. It's someone close to them, someone they trust, was the one that created it. I'm sure the GoFundMe will continue until they've raised enough to ensure that Karen and Danny will be okay. And you know, we're also trying to connect them with social workers in their local region, so that way they can get access to all of the different services and programs that are necessary, because Danny's going to need rehab. They're going to have to rehabilitate him. And I believe she had shared that he's going to have to go to a rehab facility because of the kind of care he needs until he's well enough to go home completely. So it's a process. It's definitely a process. All right. She's such okay. Ooh, look at it. Look at this. The type of stuff that's happening. It's like you're really oh my god. What I'm saying. Okay. So you've been sitting stagnant for some time and you're like trying to hide this from yourself, but you're not. You're not going to hide this from yourself successfully. This lack of movement, you are very much aware that you are being encouraged to um traverse forward, forward, forwards and upwards. Now, here's the thing. There is some seriously magical stuff going on here. I believe in this deck, there are 4 high priestesses, right? Air, spirit, fire, and earth, I believe. Unless I'm lying, I don't know. But here's the thing, 3 out of the 4 came out. 3 out of the 4 came out. You have the high priestess of air. You're going, for those who are ready, okay, you're going to have to be willing to accept what your self-worth is. You're going to have to be willing to receive what is rightfully for you. You're going to have to stop with a lot of that like martyrdom syndrome that spiritual teachings encourage us to abide by. I mean, you know, for some of us, that's easy to do. For others of us, it's like, it's impossible. But you're going to be reaching levels of communication that will help to facilitate the things that you need to happen. Now, what do you need to happen? You know, what do you need to happen? And how soon do you need it to happen? What are some of the details of these things that you're wanting and needing and waiting for, right? You have to really let yourself speak into being the things that you want. Let's do this together. I'm going to run some frequency through the audience, this space. For those who want to receive this frequency, it's an abundance amplifier dilator. So it's going to dilate, no, not dilate. Dilate the pathways that your abundance uses to enter into your field. And it's going to amplify it. If you would like to receive it, I want you to put in the comments #receive, receive, and then put what you want to receive. What is it that you are wanting? It's important for us to not have shame in being able to communicate what we want, what we need, right? Hi, Hannah. What do you want? What do you need? What is that? So, in the past few days, something has shifted within me, and I've totally been like, I want to receive the wealth that is rightfully mine. Why? Because I'm tired of not having enough to be able to help everyone. It hurts my heart when I can't just immediately reach out and help when I know someone's struggling. Like it hurt my heart so deeply when I found out how hard things have been for Karen, that I couldn't just write her a check for $5,000 and be like, girl, here, let me know when you need more. Let me know when you need more. Let me contact the facility. We're gonna have Danny transport. Don't worry, this is gonna be amazing. You know, like that hurts my heart. It hurts my heart that I don't allow the abundance that's rightfully mine to come, so I can distribute it through our community, through the world. I know. I know. I need to just allow. Instead of creating constrictions and restrictions by the, really dense emotions that I feel when I feel like I'm somehow disappointing the people that I care about, the people that I love, right? So that's one of the things that we need to do. We have to stop restricting and constricting. We can't ignore how we feel, but we can't stay in that space, right? I acknowledge that I feel that way, and I'm choosing to move forward from that, right? So hashtag receive and put what you want to receive. Find the courage to speak it into being. This High Priestess of Air is about speaking into fruition the very things that are right for you. And it's okay if the things that you want and need involve material things. As long as you're not trying to get those material things by using other people, hurting, harming other people, why do you need to suffer? Why do you need to be without? Right? Okay. So breathe deep and slow. How do you guys feel? I'm reading everyone's comments, and how beautiful is our community? How beautiful is our community? Simply wanting clarity and to move on. What is meant for me to have the peace, wealth, and stability, abundance and wealth, love, and expansion of energy, peace, wealth, stability. I want to receive the opportunities that are for me and courage to take the steps to cultivate them into beautiful artistic vision. I mean, these are not unreasonable desires. Clarity on what's rightfully mine, gifts in abundance, love, health, wealth, what I deserve and what is meant for me, being open to your life, giving you the very thing that will help to create the life you deserve. Woo! To receive all the goodness that is for me on all levels. Woo! Financial stability to have my family taken care of, enough to help those in need, growth in business, good health, growth with love and happiness in my personal life. I mean, wow. For my business to flourish in every level for the better good for myself, my family, and the community. You guys. It's like I read your guys's desires, and it's the most peaceful, most loving, most beautiful things. Speak it into being, speak it every day, call its name, call it directly to you. Allow yourself to receive, allow yourself to recognize when it's time to receive the opportunity to achieve the bringing of your dreams to fruition. Ooh. Do you guys feel that? Do you feel that? You know what that is? It's the absence of your sorrow. That is the feeling when you release the sorrow of being confined to a life and existence that's unworthy of the greatness that you are. I love it. We as a community need to thrive. because our community is created by the coming together of people with a like mind, like heart, like vision of the world no longer suffering. It's a beautiful thing when you find home. It's a beautiful thing when you see others existing as reflections of the most beautiful parts of you. It's a very beautiful thing. That takes us into the space of High Priestess of Spirit. It's time to enter into that space of authority over yourself, over your destiny, things that you are destined to be, things that you are destined to experience. These are things that no other human can take from you, prevent, or any of that. Could you imagine a silly human being thinking that it has any type of authority over a divine soul? You don't. You don't. Your soul is in control, and your soul does not seek your suffering. Your soul seeks a coming to fruition, the very thing you were born to fulfill, what you were created to do. High Priestess of Fire, but it's in reverse. This is telling me that for many of us, we still have some type of distortion within our perception of the world, our place in the world, what we deserve, what we are worthy of. That needs to be corrected. So, this High Priestess of Fire in reverse might carry with it the implication that as you become aware of how much you have foregone, either through force or through you choosing to withhold from yourself, that you might become angry, and your fire, your passion might become destructive internally or projected externally and negatively impact your environment. Be careful of that. It's unnecessary. Remember, what is rightfully yours will wait for you. It cannot be given to anyone else. It cannot be gifted to anyone else. It cannot be reassigned to anyone else. It simply will wait ever so patiently for the day that you allow it into your space, that you allow it to be a part of your existence. No one can fulfill your purpose. There is no spare that will take your place. There is no one on the bench waiting to take your place if you fail. No. No. You can share of yourself. You can share of your abundance. You can share of your purpose. You can share of your journey, but you can never be replaced, either through you bowing out or through someone trying to take it by force. That can't, no, it's not going to happen. It's not. It cannot be transferred to someone else. So now, all right. I think have we officially entered winter yet? I'm eager for winter. Guys, I know this is going to get me further shadow banned on social media. I don't give a shit. I'm going to tell you something, and I hope you listen, even if it doesn't make sense. Unless you live in an area where fog is consistently a part of your region, okay? Like some areas of California, pretty much by the time, late night approaches all the way through early morning, there's a thick layer of fog because there's a body of water nearby, and that's what's causing the fog. Unless there's something like that, stay indoors if there is fog. I know that's going to get me in a heap of trouble, but stay indoors. If you have to be outdoors, try your best to wear double mask or whatever. Try your best to keep your vents closed in your vehicle. I cannot explain what I am talking about, but I care about your well-being. I couldn't understand why I had to go to the gym so effing early in the morning. The fog rolled through about 15, 20 minutes after I got home. And then I understood. Stay out of the fog. Do not breathe any of that. Okay? So you have to remain within a circle of protection. What does this mean? This means you have to be aware of your surroundings. This means you have to be aware of your health and how your health is being affected by your surroundings. This means that you are intrinsically protected from the very things you need to be protected from, but you have to listen to your soul. You have to, right? Village baby, I know you're not trying to have a side conversation with me on my phone while I'm live streaming. Stop it. This guy. Now, for some of us, we have to go outdoors and then, it kind of just creeps up on us. Um, keep the masks, like disposable masks, in your car. Keep disposable masks in your car. Layer them. It's gonna be, pain in the ass, but layer them. Okay, just really layer them. There's stuff that Hi, Nina. There's stuff that's been going on since autumn. And these are like really upside down things. And these are things that are trying to contain your potential. These are things that are trying to contain enough of your potential, enough of your energy, enough of your perception that you don't have the clarity to continue doing what you need to do. Right? Don't let them contain that. Don't let them contain that. Make sure that you keep pushing forward. Just keep pushing forward. Manifestation. Spell manifestation. It's like for some of us, this message is about what we are bringing to fruition. We're bringing our dreams into being. We're putting the effort into creating a life that is built on the dreams that we have made true. For others, someone trying to fuck your shit up, yo. I'm serious. Someone is really trying to pepper some hatred all over your stuff. They don't want you to become stabilized. They don't want you to be beyond their reach. They don't want you to succeed. They don't want you to feel secure. They don't want you to feel safe. They don't want you to feel like you have a spiritual guardian on your side. They don't want any of that. They don't want you to initiate the next part of your life, the sweetest part of your life. Fuck those people. I don't give a shit. And right as I said that, what card comes up? Goddess, feminine. I was endowed with the ability to create, to bring to fruition from my parts a new life. With power like that, I'm saying, really, what limits exist? None but the ones I believe in. What limits have you begun believing in that your dreams are nowhere near coming true? That you are so convinced the disappointment that you've lived through is all there is in life. I promise you, that is a whole ass lie. Not a slice of lie pie, but the whole fucking pie and the bakery too. I'm saying. I'm saying. Whatever made you think that you should believe the lies that failures are trying to convince you of? I once had someone, they were trying to give me all this advice that I'd never asked for. I never asked for any of it. So they were trying to give me all of this advice, and I'm just like, but have you ever succeeded at the thing you're telling me about? No? So I take it you don't know what you're talking about. Say it. Oh, shit. Okay. Like, there's this one person in my life. Well, they're not in my life anymore, but they will go ahead and start reading about certain types of subject matter, um, because they know that it interests me, or whatever, it fascinates me, or I asked about it at some point. Not them, but they were in the room and heard me ask someone else. And so they go on their phone and they're like Googling all this stuff, right? So that they can sound intelligent. Sounding intelligent and being intelligent are completely separate things. Just like their perception and reality. Those were completely separate things. So this person will start to Google all sorts of information and try and like just regurgitate it, right? So they could be part of a conversation that they know nothing about. And it was my siblings. Not my sick brother. He was off doing his own thing. It was my two siblings. My two other siblings. So like I'm asking my brother like about chickens, raising chickens, and the other one's like he's quiet. He's on the massager on his phone and he's googling up stuff about chickens. And he starts like he cuts into the conversation and he's just like wah, wah, wah. And me and the brother who's actually raising chickens was like, what are you even talking about? And then my brother who's raising chickens was like, hey bro, I think you should just take a nap. My siblings and I were savage with each other. Don't worry. It's fine. He's accustomed to it. But that's the thing. It's like, why would you listen to someone who has absolutely no idea? Why? I want to share something with you. I believe I downloaded the video. Hold on. I saw this earlier and it just so special to me. We expanded. Okay. I don't know who this is and I don't know this company, but the story, there's music, so I'm gonna have to mute it. Okay, it's sending. This totally just like inspired me so deeply earlier. So let's see. All right, I'm just gonna mute it. She's saying, over the pandemic, we expanded. We exploded all over the US. Throughout that whole journey, we donated over 360,000 to kids, bringing our total to $1 million that they've donated. And everyone's like, whoa! From a person that was homeless. You don't know what this means. The secret of living is giving. It gives back to you every single time. Our magical portrait sessions are, so it's an advertisement for enchanted fairies. And from that, I don't know her story. I don't know her history, but she clearly is sharing that she was homeless. And she, because of her passion, because of her creativity and the risk she took on herself, not only was she able to create stability for herself, she was able to turn it back around and pay it forward, sideways, over, under $1 million. Not $1 million that she has earned for herself. $1 million total of donations. I had to watch that like 10 times. I was like, I'm saving this. I'm saving this. I'm saving this. I am saving this. Mm-hmm. I had to save that. Haven't donated $1 million, maybe close to it. I've given way more than I would ever care to share. Over the years, I've given way more than I ever care to share. But it's a similar story. I started my company when I was homeless. And I saved that. Because sometimes I wonder if I'm lying to all of you about like, you can do it too. Sometimes I wonder, is that a lie? Is this ability to succeed beyond the limitations of the tragic circumstance that I was in? Was that unique to just me? Was I the only one that's able to do that? And I'm not. That's why I saved it. To remind me that everything I talk about is a truth that if you allow it to become your truth, then it is your truth. But if you hear it as, oh, that's someone else's story, that's amazing for them, that's their story, it would never happen to me, then it will never happen to you. Are you ready for it to happen to you? Are you ready to be so focused on living your life to the fullest? Not money driven. Okay, money is a part of the world, it is a part of our existence. Money eventually factors in because you need to eat, you need a place to stay, you have these expenses for your existence. But I'm not talking about chasing something for the fact of money. I'm talking about chasing your dream until your dream is so exhausted that you catch it and you bring it into your life as your truth, as your reality. Woo! I'm seeing it ain't just me, boo. It ain't just me, because there are plenty of people who maybe they weren't homeless, but they sure as hell didn't have the help. They didn't have investors. They didn't have a huge budget, but they did it. They did it. They plugged away and plugged away and plugged away until the leak that is their self-doubt was sealed off. And no more energy was being drained unnecessarily. And so everything that they were bringing into themselves was then being focused on building the very thing they needed. That dream. What if I told you that dream is not a dream? It's a promise and invitation from your soul to see, to be, to do, to experience exactly what that dream is showing you. I mean, gosh, do I have to convince you? I tell you right now, that's a loaded question. To those who are like, prove it, enemy. I just did. The fact that you need me to prove to you the thing you should believe the most about yourself has proven to you beyond a shadow of a doubt how little you believe in your capacity. Because what did I say earlier? The only limitations that exist are the ones you believe in. Those are the only ones. Ah, unicorn fish. Can you please share? Can you please share? Is there any good stuff that you're wanting to share? I'm saying, I mean, you don't have to if you don't want to, but I'm just, I think as a part of this community, when good things happen to any of you, you should absolutely share so we can celebrate you, so we can celebrate with you. I'm serious. Let's normalize celebrating each other. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to you. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations to you. I'm proud of you. You did it. You made it happen. You made it happen. Oh my God. You made it happen. Here's to the next part of your journey. The sweetest part. Mm-hmm. May the sweetness last in perpetuity. Yeah. I am sure he is smiling so big at the beautiful birthday gift you gave him today. You did it. You did it. He didn't make that happen. He watched you as you made it happen. Far too much. Those who are left behind in life, they have a tendency to not give themselves the credit for the work that they do, the chances that they take. Far too often we will say, oh, our dearly departed loved one made this happen for us. Sometimes they do. This time he didn't. He watched you make it happen, unicorn fish. I love it. I love it. I love it. It's going to be so much sweetness. You're not going to know what to do with it. Grounding in reverse. You don't need to ground yourselves, you guys. For those who are in existence to help shift this paradigm that we exist within, you're not here to be grounded. You are here to be anchored in a position of elevation. What that means is stop trying to play normal. Stop trying to do things the way everyone else does. Stop trying to seek out a guru or a teacher. Blaze your own path. You are here to conquer a wilderness, to cultivate it, turn it into a resort, and then invite everyone you love to join you. That's how I'm going to do. I'm saying. That's exactly how I'm going to do it. I'm going to find the wilderness within me. I'm going to cultivate it, turn it into a beautiful resort. And then I'm going to invite all of you to join me there. Just saying. That's the plan. That's the plan. All right. You don't need a teacher. I just told you. When people are insisting that you need to listen to them because they know better than you, I'm not talking about a person who you have asked, like, hey, what do you think? Can I get your thoughts on this? Or, that's one thing, right? Someone who's being asked for their opinion, their perception. I'm talking about the people who volunteer the information as though they know more than you about yourself and your life. I'm talking about those people. They lack integrity. Now, the empath in you, that's a people pleaser, will probably be like, they're just trying to help. I mean, they're just trying to help. Let me be honest with you. See, I was there too. I was the same type of empath before. Now, I still can be like that, but I try my best not to. Why? Because I learned in the most painful way possible several times over that people who do that are people that are using you and your lack of clarity as a way to uplift themselves in the most ego based fashion. What am I saying? They're exploiting your suffering to make themselves feel good. That's what I'm saying. I'm serious. Has nothing to do with helping you. Has everything to do with being able to steal the credit of the work that you do to achieve what you'll achieve. So again, this is not the same thing as you asking someone. This is not the same thing as you knowing someone who has tremendous amounts of experience in whatever it is you're needing advice on. And you go to them and you're asking them, and they're like, well, these is kind of like my thoughts. But you got to do what's right for you. You kind of have to just see all the different aspects, factor in the different factors, and just get a good sense of what you should do. Like, what are your thoughts on it? People like that I cherish. I cherish. Like one of my like really dear friends, if I bring something to a conversation where I'm kind of like seeking counsel, uh, one of the first things that she'll do is, uh, do you want my input or do you simply want me to, to listen? You know what I mean? Like to be respectful of how, I mean, I don't think it's necessary for her to ask me that. Um, but the fact that she wants to be mindful and not cross a boundary of trying to dictate to me, I appreciate the sentiment of it. Absolutely. That there's that consideration that's part of it. So I will always have an elevated level of respect for anything that person says because I know with the way they are, they're always in a space of considering, like, I don't want to overstep boundaries. I don't want to disrespect sovereignty. So it's a beautiful thing. Be careful of who you ask about your dreams. Be careful. There are people that have been placed on your path to ensure that you experience elevations of struggle before you accomplish what you're accomplishing. Okay? Your intuition will guide you. You are very intuitively guided. Excuse me, all of us are. It ain't just me. Stop it. All of us are. All of us are very intuitively guided. And it's a matter of how much we go out of our way to convince ourselves that we don't know anything. All of us are intuitively guided. It's literally not just me. All of us. Start trusting yourself. You have to. You have to. Start listening to the way your body communicates when your soul is telling you something. It speaks through your heart, which then disperses the message through your body. Those butterflies, they're a message. Do you know the lower the butterflies are in your belly, the more it's a warning about your safety? The higher up it is, it's about your soul telling you, I love you so much that I want you to experience this because it will grow you. Trust me. Trust me. And people think like, I'm feeling butterflies all near my cooch. That means I'm in love. No, that's your soul telling you, boo boo, go the other direction. This is bad. Because guess what? That's right by your root chakra. You know what the root chakra is involved with? Survival. Steer clear of situations where your only option is to be destroyed or to try and scramble to find a way to survive. I no longer allow myself to go into those situations. It took me years to realize I was functioning out of a place of ego where I had to prove to myself that I was strong enough to get through these situations. The strength is in knowing when you don't need to. It's more powerful to know I don't need to prove that I can fight. I don't need to show that I'm gangsta or savage. I don't need any of that. I need to just maintain my peace. And if you disturb that, you need to be out. No, I don't need to explain myself. Oh, but how many people might be mad? I don't care. These are the same people who will seek to destroy me. Let them be mad. Let's get it over with immediately. Because guess what? Even if I stayed, they'd be mad because they'd see the greatness that I am and it would offend them. So let them be offended right from the start so we can get it over with. I don't give a shit. Oh, and I mean that. I'm genuine in that. I don't give a shit about things like that. You want to be angry with me because I have discernment? Good. Be angry. I'm not angry. But if you want to be, that's your choice. So good. Make choices for yourself. I'm serious. Let them make choices for themselves. They want to waste their energy on you? Go right ahead. You take it too far, you're going to get the consequences of your actions. Yo, I was made aware today. There is a man, no, a male. I won't even call him a man. This is not manly behavior. There is a male who has gone out of his way for the past couple years to harass me, to stalk me digitally, attempt to geolocate me, who has tried to steal my work and sell it as his own, who has made multiple death threats to me, my family, my business associates, viewers, everyone, right? I have, I believe, over 1,700 emails. This person has created, I want to say, I don't remember off the top of my, like over 30 YouTube profiles to harass me. Multiple other platforms were used. Sent my husband hundreds of messages to harass me. Just craziness. And I was made aware that the stupidity of it. Emmy, do you think you could change your mind about suing me? Because if you could just change your mind about the trial, um, I need to use my money for CBD. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. You didn't change your mind in how many years? Why the fuck would I care? You didn't give a fuck how I would feel when you said you wanted to decapitate me, drink my blood. I'm saying, I don't give a fuck. I don't need to give a fuck. You created that. Deal with it. The beautiful thing about that, I'm not celebrating someone's demise. I'm not. Nor am I going to take responsibility for the repercussions they created for themselves. That ain't got nothing to do with me harming someone. Your own words harmed you. Fucking idiot. Um, the beautiful thing about that, it's been my dream to reach this place of accountability to the degree that I stop making excuses for people. There is this pattern that exists in my life where I draw to me somehow, some way, the most toxic motherfuckers ever. I mean, y'all are not toxic, but I've drawn to me some of the most toxic motherfuckers ever. And I never hold them accountable. I'm just like, you know what? Whatever. Just whatever. I don't even care. And for the first time, I'm like, no, I do care. I do care because you threaten my community. You threaten my personal assistant. You consistently are insulting me and my husband. Like, homie, I'm not a fucking whore. Right. Okay. So now it's like this thing of the most beautiful part. I don't think, no, 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 no. Let me be extra transparent, extra layer of honesty. I wouldn't have done anything about it if it weren't for you guys. I wouldn't. I wouldn't have done anything about it. So, in me being able to find the courage to love all of you in the way you deserve, because really, I think the defining moment was when the threat, because he had already threatened to kill me several times. The threat was, if I remember right, the location to the sanctuary will be made public. Okay. And that's what basically caused me to finally be like, community, there's a problem. Because after he said that, he went on a live stream while I was live, created a new account. And he decided to, in real time, insult all of you, call all of you idiots for sharing space with me. I think short of that, I would have just stayed quiet, like I always do. Just stay quiet, like whatever. It's just fucking drama, whatever. Sometimes your dreams come true only after you've been challenged to the degree that you're no longer backing down. I will not back down. I won't. There's no mind to change. None. 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 When you have the type of conviction that's necessary for you to no longer back down, that's when your dreams come to fruition. It's not my dream to imprison someone. That's probably what will happen. Pretty sure of it. I mean, your IP address is part of the emails. Yeah. Not to mention, it's your whole fucking legal name that you've been emailing me from. Also, not to mention, you've purchased things from me, so I have your financial information. That means I can prove your identity. You know what I'm saying? So it's this thing of, I needed that last part. The last part was the most difficult part, But that was the part that challenged me enough and created enough friction for the wheels of our magical fucking bus to grip the ground and move forward. Because guess what? We're full fucking steam ahead. A physical church will be built. We will be gathering as a community in person. We will have a soul sanctuary campus. All of these things will happen. I needed to first address the final weight that was unnecessary. This rotting sack of trash that's been left outside my door. You see, when trash is left outside your door and you continue to ignore it because, like me, the best way for me to cope with life is to avoid, to just, pretend like it's all good. No, I'm not bothered. But yeah, no, the trash begins to stink. But see, that's not the main problem. The stink is a symptom of the poisons, the pollution that eventually enters into your home. Because at some point, the rot becomes airborne. And every time you walk past it, it's tracked into your house. This is the perfect analogy for how so many of us deal with the things that actually need to be dealt with. It's okay. If you're an avoider like me, it's okay. But just know, at some point, when your soul is done, it's not going to let you avoid. No. It's going to put you in a situation where you have to face things head on. And it's not because you're being punished, it's because that cycle needs to be done. It needs to be done because you are ready to reach the next part, the part of thriving, the part where your dreams are tangible. It's not there yet, but you can feel it, you can hold it. You can see it, it's about to happen. Let it happen. Stop fighting it. Let it happen. Let it unfold. Let yourself receive finally exactly what you deserve. And yeah, no, my stalker is going to receive what he deserved, what he worked so hard for. I know for damn sure. I did not spend thousands of dollars on a lawyer to be like, okay, well, I think you learned your lesson now. No, learn it all the way. All the fucking way. Learn it all the fucking way. Because clearly, your entire family failed to teach you some kind of measure of morals. So now you're going to learn through legalities. Good fucking job. I will never change my mind. Your stupidity had me waste thousands of fucking dollars to address your stupidity instead of being able to use it to further nurture my community. That's unfucking forgivable. You will never be absolved. I will never forget that. I will never forgive that. You took resources that I could have used on my community. Enjoy what that money was used for. Because, y'all, I tell you, I found an amazing law firm. I did. I did. So, what I've learned is when life brings you to a point of ugly like that, thank you, Chanel. When life brings you to a point of ugly like that, it's usually like this precursor, like you're right there at the cusp. That's when you've been pulled back the farthest, right? That bow and arrow pulled back the farthest. And then what do? Do you just stay there with attention and your arms are like, what do? You let go. You let go and you're launched forward. You're launched forward exactly where you are aiming. Aim high. The amount of tension, frustration, struggle that you experience as that energy is loaded into the bow because something, someone is pulling you back. Use it. Allow it to be translated into an amplified forward trajectory. Very soon, the topic of that bullshit that I've had to deal with for several years now, it will be far behind. I am that arrow. You are that arrow. Your life circumstance is the bow that holds the tension, the stored energy. You are the hand that has pulled you back. You are the hand that is aiming you where you need to go. And when you finally give up fighting yourself and your soul, when you finally are too tired to fight and you think you've failed because now you have to let go. That's actually when you launch forward. Life has a beautiful way of showing you the antithesis of the greatness you are about to experience. I remind myself this consistently when things get as dark as they do. That's usually because we're at the cusp of a new dawn that carries with it the promises soul has promised me for a long time. To be able to live a life so great that I can freely share it and give and have the capacity to just keep giving and never be depleted, not just in energy, but in finances too. I mean, I sit here and think of how many people I could feed, clothe, house, make healthy with billions of dollars. I could do so fucking much of that. How many shelters can we build? Single family shelters, houses, homes. How many children can we reach so that we can ensure the future is a beautiful one for everyone? How many parents can we support so that they have that infrastructure to be the best possible example for their children? It makes me so fucking excited. It just does. It's like sometimes I feel stupid for being so excited about shit like that, but it's just that's what sets my heart on fire. And that heart that's on fire is the very light that shines in your darkest of nights. Find your passion, cultivate it. Let it be the very thing that helps you to see exactly what it is you're building, to give you the clarity so you can understand that your suffering, your struggle, it's just part of a process. It's part of a process. At the gym earlier today, and I was lifting heavy for myself. I was pushing it. I was pushing it. And I had a couple more exercises to do. And I was at the benches. I was going to go ahead and I was using free weights, dumbbells. And I was standing there for a few minutes already, like, girl, I'm done. This is bullshit. This is literally the conversation I was having in my head. I'm done. This is bullshit. I want to go home. I want to eat. I want to sleep. Fuck this shit. And there was this girl who maybe like 20 minutes before that, we were near each other on machines. And she looked over and she smiled. Like, people have been smiling at me at the gym. And I'm just like, because I'm fucking awkward. I'm socially awkward. I don't care if people know. So when you smile at me in person, I'm quick to be like, that's literally the face that I make. I don't know why. It's so fucking awkward. And then I look away, and then of course the person feels weirded out, like, oh my God, were they she offended? And when I look back and I'm like now waiting for them to look at me again so that I can be like, hi. Of course they're not going to look at me again. This has already happened several times. But as I was standing there talking shit to myself about fuck this, I'm done. I'm gonna fucking go home. I'm gonna eat some chocolate cake and go to sleep. um, she ended up on the bench beside me and she started a conversation. Very short, casual conversation. She wanted to know if the bench beside me was free, because my husband got up and left. And I was like, no, I think he's done. At which point she was like, you look really good. And I was like, what? And she goes, yeah, I was watching you earlier. I was like, oh my God, really? She goes, yeah, you're like developing so beautifully. And she's, totally being very complimentary, and it felt very genuine. And that was the thing that got me to not just finish the exercise I was in the middle of doing, but it got me to finish the entire cycle I was doing. There were like 5 more machines that I needed to hit. And I did, because of that one statement from her, the acknowledgement that she is seeing me progress. Because I've seen her at the gym quite a few times. So what am I saying? We need to do this for each other. Even if you don't know what someone is going through, when you see their progression and you have an opportunity, let them know. I notice you've been growing so beautifully. Just thought I'd let you know. I do this to people quite a bit. I'm not just full of compliments. It has to be genuine. Like one time I was in a drive-through. It was a taco spot with my husband. I think it was like a year or two ago. And it seemed like, see, I'm not a jealous wife, but it really seemed like the person on the speaker was being a little bit flirtatious with my husband. And I was totally being sarcastic in the car before we got to the window. And I was like, this bitch, you better show her your ring. You better be like, oh, my wife in the car. My husband's like, shut up, you're crazy. And then, I was like, I'm gonna tell her. And she opens the window and I'm like, oh girl, I love your nails. And my husband was cracking up so hard because right before she opened the window, I was talking mad shit, like, fuck this hoe. I'm gonna correct this hoe. And literally as soon as she opened I saw her nails. I was like, ooh, girl, I like your nails. They are so cute. And it threw me off. I couldn't correct nothing because I was like, those are fucking cute. Because that's how I am. When I genuinely feel something, sometimes I'm moved to share it. Like, oh my God, you're so adorable. Oh, you're gorgeous. These are not empty compliments. It's just I'm really feeling you right now. They were green. I think they had, if I remember right, like the tips were almost like a fluorescent greenish, and then there was like an ombre effect with like orange, but it's like fluorescent but pastel. Not seafoam. It was more like a fluorescent green, but it was a pastel version. And then there were like little adornments, and I was like, oh my God, bitch, your nails are adorable. I don't have true hatred for people in my heart. Like, I just don't. I'm not that kind of person. But it's this thing of getting back on track. We need to allow ourselves to be a support system for our community, right? Because so many of us are going to be challenged in this period where, we get really close to achieving our dreams, and then a struggle, a setback, frustration. And when you get into that mindset, it's so easy to forget how much progress you've made. So easy to forget. I remember like Octoberish, Novemberish time. Now, my board members moved to an area where, we're trying to establish a church presence. They moved in that area like July, August. I don't know. But it was only like 2-3 months, right? And I was starting to feel depressed because it's like, I haven't accomplished shit. And I didn't really, share that. But I remember that my board was like, just really acknowledging how much we've done in such a short time. And it's like, you think? Because to me, I'm accustomed to accomplishing ridiculous amounts of work without giving myself credit and not recognizing how far I've come. And when I get frustrated because I haven't achieved to the degree that's as ridiculous as I believe I should have achieved, yeah, no, it really affects my psychology. But when people who I can trust their input, I know they're genuine, they're not just empty compliments. I'm like, really? You think so? Okay. Okay, well, maybe we have. Maybe we have, And so when you see someone in our community and you can feel their energy, because I know all y'all are empaths. Stop it. I know you're empaths. When you can feel that their energy is asking for a reminder, right? Um, Asking, needing just a little pick me up, and you have a genuine compliment, give it. Share your words, share your thoughts and your perceptions about how far they have come, how much they have accomplished. You have no idea what that does for people. It does a lot. It does a lot. It's time for us to surrender, right? I've hardly accomplished but survived. Sometimes the survival is the accomplishment. Sometimes we have to recognize that we feel and operate only from a space of survival because we've allowed ourselves to be convinced by others to be something outside of who and what we actually are. It's hard to thrive in an environment where you're pretending to be somebody. It's very hard. However, when you allow yourself to enter into a space of authenticity, all of that effort that it takes to mask, to emulate others, to be a mirror, it's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy, right? And for some of us, we didn't have a level of awareness yet that could get us out of those spaces of existence. But as you begin to really enter into a space of awareness that can empower you to the degree that you can liberate yourself, even if it's just internally, then you can begin reminding yourself, like, you know what? This is not who I am. This is who I thought I was supposed to be. It's not who I am, though. Who I am is still inside me, and I need to put more effort into bringing that outside of me. I need to put more emphasis on getting to know myself again. It's not about weakness at all. It's about confusion. It's about lack of guidance due to lack of connectivity with soul, due to lack of belief that you have the capacity, the gift to hear yourself. You can hear yourself. And if you don't believe it yet, it's okay. Keep watching. Keep sharing space with me. I promise you, at some point, you're going to be like, Emmy, oh my God, my higher self will just not shut up. I promise you will get there. If that's your goal, I'm over here like, boo, I'm not trying to listen to you right now. I'm saying. This lack of belief in your limitless nature is the thing that's draining you the most. Okay. This lack of acceptance of what your self-worth is, this willingness to listen to the lies of what hurt people tell you is the truth about you. If you believe that hurt people, who are the people that allow others to keep hurting them? Because they're not healers, right? Because a healer would be someone who would recognize the symptomatic presentation of an injury. They wouldn't just glaze over it. So who would that be? How do we categorize the people who continue to allow others to bleed all over them? Well, if we think about it, you have a finite amount of blood in your system. And if a stranger were to come up to me and I don't know who injured them, how they got injured, I just see they're injured and they are profusely bleeding. I'm not going to be like, oh, you poor thing. You yelled at me because you're hurt. Because hurt people hurt people. Oh, tell me your story. What happened? No, I would be like, bro, you're bleeding. And I would go ahead and apply pressure to stop the bleeding. And if I have a hand free, I would get my phone and call 911. Or I would instruct people who are in the vicinity, call 911. We have a profuse bleeder here. And I would get the help that's necessary. I wouldn't sit there and continue to allow someone to bleed. But when it comes to spiritual communities, when it comes to society, you're the asshole for doing that, right? You're the asshole for taking action and actually addressing the issue. Sometimes when hurt people, what they need is to have someone who has the capacity to stand right in front of them, look them in the eyes, and be like, "You're being an absolute asshole for no reason. Do you need help with something? Or did something happen? Do you need to get something off your chest? Because for real, that behavior will not be tolerated. But if you need help, you need to let me know." I'm saying. Don't be the person that wastes all of your energy with empty words that do nothing to stop the bleeding. Dreams are about to come true. It requires action. First, address what's in front of you. For many empaths, you have a profuse bleeder in front of you, beside you, in back of you, somewhere down the hall talking shit about you. Address the profuse bleeder first so that your full focus can be present afterwards when you put the focus, the attention, the presence into calling your dreams into fruition. It's going to be very difficult to not have distortions as your dreams come to fruition, so long as you're dealing with profuse bleeders. The issue is that we don't give ourselves permission to end one thing before we start another, or to be able to multitask. Like, you need to know when it's appropriate to multitask and when it's appropriate to be singular in your focus. Sometimes we don't have the option of choosing options. Roll with it. Keep going. Don't remain stagnant in that space just because it's like, but I need my options. No, roll with it. As long as you don't stay in that space, you're not going to be stuck there. If you stay in that space, you will be stuck there and you will continue to not have options. So there's this thing that often happens in the car with my family, this thing of like, we'll be in the middle of nowhere. And then one of the kids will be like, "I gotta pee." Okay. And then my husband will be like, "There's nothing here." Keep driving then. It's simple. You're not gonna stop on the side of the road. Keep driving. There will eventually be something where you can pull off, a gas station, or at the very least, somewhere that's off of the freeway to go ahead and be on the side of the road if need be. If it's in the middle of nowhere, I mean, what's the harm? So you apply that analogy to your life. You have a need. Are you going to stay there in the middle of nowhere where there are no exits, no buildings, no nothing, and continue to contemplate how there's nothing there? No, you keep going. You keep going until you are presented with options of what you need. Awaken and gratitude. You need to allow your gratitude to rise up to the surface. Everything in your life, everything that you face can serve your growth. But if you don't allow it to, then it won't. When you allow yourself to see, Jesus loves me. Oh, yes, he does. 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 Be fearless, but it's in reverse, right? You got to know when your fearlessness is just, you know, you got to know when your fearlessness is like a lack of intelligence. Oh, yes, he does. um Jesus loves me. Gotta let it go. Y'all, when my husband get in the comments and he is irritado, you know, you fucked up. All right. So for some, you're being crippled by your fear, right? For some, you're being crippled by your fear, and you need to not be fearless, like completely devoid of fear, because if you're already that scared, that's not going to happen. That's unrealistic. So, what you're going to need to do is allow that fear to just be what it is, and instead focus on finding enough courage to override the fear, you know? Because courage is what you do when you face fear. So, it's okay to be full of fear. You find the courage that will override that fear. Not so it doesn't exist, but so you're not crippled by it. Okay. Believe in yourself, believe in your ability to rise, believe in your willingness to receive a life change that will really make it tangible. That dream coming to fruition, becoming tangible. This thing of being able to like this is it. Like it's really happening, right? We got to end the cycles of disbelief. We got to end the cycles of self sabotage. We got to end the cycles of blocking ourselves from receiving, right? We got to end all of those cycles. It's not going to end naturally. These are cycles that we have to choose to exit. If you don't choose to exit it, then your dreams will not come true. I'm going to be blunt about it. Your dreams will not come true. You will continue to experience this circumstance of being frustrated, feeling like nothing good ever happens for you, no good luck, no one cares, all of these like really, really not so good feelings, right? These are feelings that you're experiencing because your expectation is not aligned with a type of action that you are applying to a reality you are living through, right? We got to be more specific because the the saying is you need an alignment between your expectation and reality, right? Not just that, because you can be aligned all you want, but if you don't know what that alignment means or how to reach that alignment or the components of that alignment, it's not going to do you any good. So your expectation needs to be aligned with the reality of the actions you need to take in order to address the reality that you're living through. Has to be in alignment. You have to also allow yourself to be rejuvenated because I think for many of us, we've been going through this circumstance for so long. You're egg bound. You're egg bound. You are. For some of you, you are. What egg bound means is that, and I don't like chickens. I like to eat them, but I don't like to interact with them. I hear they're sweet and can bond with people, but I'm good. I'm good. They're miniature velociraptors. For egg-bound chickens, because I see this, right? Shedding, it's an egg, and then it's a blue jay, right? But granted, that's not a chicken, but the egg-bound chicken is a chicken whose egg is stuck in the cloaca, in the passageway where the egg comes out of. What a lot of people don't know is that chickens only have one pathway for the eggs, for the fecal matter, for the urine, and they don't even pee. It's all in one, right? So if that blocks up, the chicken might die. What does it take for a chicken to become less egg bound? From what I hear, you would need to soak them in an Epsom salt soak, kind of just keep them nice and comfortable and relax, and really just let that encouragement, help get the egg out. And I think that's kind of what we have to do. We have to allow ourselves to find some comfort in knowing that we are shedding our old identity. The shedding cycle card in reverse is telling me that you are afraid to let go of the life as you know it to be right now. You cannot live a new life created to bring your dream to fruition if you refuse to let go of the life that blocks that dream from coming into fruition. So, what needs to happen? You need to let that old life go. For some, it will be slowly. For others, it might be something that's very jarring and like really immediate, like overnight, even instant, where your life is forever changed. Something very jarring has occurred in your life, is forever changed. And yes, give yourself time to process. You got to be kind with yourself, give yourself time to process and then embrace the shedding. It's evidence of growth, because why does a snake shed? One reason alone: because it's growing. It's growing. That's why. That's why. And Otaku says, I'm willing to sacrifice my old life for the new. You don't even have to sacrifice anything. Viewing it from a space of sacrificing your old life, it's like a punishment, right? That would give you some low key perception that the shedding is a punishment. You're not being punished. You're not. You just got too comfortable in a stage and began to think that that's all there was. That's only a stage of your development. It's not the whole thing. So, rebirth of magic in reverse. Nope. You're needing to go ahead and tap into the magic that's already been placed in your hands, right? You have magic placed in your hands. You have something very, very magical within your grasp. I think for some, the message might be this sense of you have to either choose magic or choose love, but you can't have both. Yes, you can. Love rooted in magic rooted in love is some of the most powerful magic you ever can harness. Real love, omni love, not human love, not ownership type love. Human love has a tendency to be about ownership, right? So, galactic heritage. For many of us, we're going to be tapping into a lot of the different things that make us so different from neurotypical people. Now, using the terms neurotypical and neurodivergent, yes, it carries with it the potentiality of creating division, but at the same time, it also carries with it tremendous potential. So, as a neurodivergent, that means you have been given access to abilities, capabilities, levels of clarity and compassion that a neurotypical person usually doesn't have access to. Does that mean you're better? No, that means you're more obligated and better equipped to serve those who don't have the gifts you've been given. We have to still function in a cohesive manner, in a way that creates compassion for everyone. For everyone. Okay? So it's not about competing and comparing. It's about recognizing that when you are born different, it's because you are created to initiate change. You are an initiator. You are a catalyst. Okay? Betrayal in reverse. Let's just let that go. Does it matter if they betrayed you or if you betrayed yourself? What does it matter? Like, oh, so and so betrayed me. And then normally I'd be like, but did they really betray you if your soul was already telling you they'd do this to you? No, then that, I guess that means that I betrayed myself. And I don't know that that's something that even needs to be brought up. Like, why is that a focus? Let that go. Yes, acknowledge there was some kind of hurt that occurred, either caused by someone else, caused by yourself. It doesn't matter. Your feelings were hurt. You were injured in some way, right? So deal with the injury, address that, and keep going. Move forward. Create the space that's necessary for the dreams to come to fruition. Abundance sigil. For many, the abundance is waiting. What you choose to do with that door that keeps the abundance out is strictly up to you. No one can force you to accept. No one can force you to receive. No one can force anything, really. They can't. Just like they can't keep it away from you if you want it. Do you want your dreams to come true? You want that life of productivity, a life full of meaning? Make it happen. Make it happen. Allow it to be what it needs to be. Innocence. I don't know why this card makes me feel like it's not the word innocence, it's oblivious, right? Because there's this implication that innocence means you've had no experience in that, and you're probably naive, you don't know any better, you're innocent. Is that an excuse we tell ourselves? Possibly. If that's an excuse you tell yourself, or it's like, well, I've never done this before. Just recognize that that's what you do when you're intimidated by your life circumstance. When you can recognize that's the way you cope with situations that feel challenging to you, you can then begin to shift your focus on creating some progress through that, rather than just like, I don't know how, I don't know how, I don't know how. Okay, it's okay if you don't know how. You can always learn. You can always learn. Find out how to do this, find out how to do that. There's a YouTube video for everything. I'm not even joking. There's a YouTube video for everything. I once saw a YouTube video on how to replace an aortic valve. I was like, oh, good Lord. I hope this is just for educational purposes. Soul journey in reverse. For many of us, we think the soul journey is this outward progression. It's not. It's the involution for your evolution, this diving deep into your truth so that you can reunify all your parts. As you go deeper into your truth, things become compressed and you have the opportunity to choose whether you want to be a whole person or not. At least not yet, if you don't want to. Right? So, faith in the process in reverse, this is telling me that you're afraid that you don't have what it takes to cut it. You don't have the ability, the authority, the power over yourself and your life to make your dreams come true. No, you come from a legacy of light. You have the authority. You and yourself alone are the only ones who have the authority over yourself. What's his name? Jordan Peterson. Profound mind. What a beautiful, beautiful man. Such a profound, beautiful thinker, truth seeker. So I heard that he shared someone's tweet or something like that. And then the government of the country he lives in and has a psychologist license in. They are trying to force him to agree to mandatory social reprogramming. They didn't like that he was pointing out, he was sharing a post that was pointing out factual things. So I hear. There are things outside of him, governmental things, that are trying to convince him that they have authority over his autonomy and sovereignty. It's too late. He's broken free. He has a reach that cannot be taken away, whether you take his license or not. You cannot shut him up. That license does not validate the beauty of his intelligence. You can't take that away because his license, he's still going to see the world the way he does, through the eyes of a sovereign, with the intelligence of the person he is. That's a beautiful thing. That's a beautiful thing. Now imagine if he were to go ahead and succumb to that, to agree to the programming. No. No. How do they have authority over him? They don't. Just like they don't have authority over you. Whoever they are, you know. You know who they are. And they try and convince you they have authority over you. Do they? These people in your life, do they? That the punishment, if you do not agree and conform and give up your dreams and block your abundance, is that they will reject you. Honey, they already rejected you the moment they didn't accept you as you are. So what does it matter if it's official that they've rejected you? What does it matter? That's how I see it. The moment they fail or choose not to accept me as I am and create these conditions that must be fulfilled and honored in order for me to be able to be allowed to exist, they've already rejected me. So I don't care what the consequence is. You'll only let me be around if I play the role you tell me to play. You've already rejected me. So what's the threat? Nothing. the perfection of your life. Everything that's happened in your life has been to cultivate the parts of you that are needed, the perception that is necessary to be able to see with clarity the pathway laid before you by soul. That pathway leads you to a wilderness. Soul will not pave the entire way. It will pave the way to the wilderness, at which point, at the edge of that pathway, that is the point where you take full control of your journey, where life becomes an adventure, and you are the only one that decides exactly where you'll go, what you'll do when you're there, how long you'll stay there, and how much you'll enjoy it. Within that wilderness are all your dreams. And if you allow yourself to explore that wilderness, you will see all the dreams that you've had for yourself from childhood until now. That was the map you were seeking. That was a treasure map. That was the way your soul was communicating to you the way everything is meant to go in order to get to where you want to be. Releasing allegiances, allowing yourself to let go. Oh, look at that. Release a dark wound, let love live. Allowing yourself to let go of identification as the pain, right? There will be things that will try and get your attention in order to disrupt, right? It might be situations, it might be people. If it's people, there are people who exist who their primary role, their primary purpose as a person is to create friction. You decide if you want to allow yourself to get distracted. You decide that, okay? You allow yourself to make the decisions that are necessary to cultivate your peace and maintain your focus. If you want to allow for a distraction, that's up to you, right? But what's more important? The coming to fruition of your dreams or something else? Only you can decide that. I'm not even being sarcastic. Like, you have to decide what is most important to you. For some, it will be this thing of what's more important, making enough money for rent this month or pushing to bring your dreams to fruition. I mean, if I was presented with that and, I have kids, I'm pretty sure making rent this month would be my priority, unless there's some other option where I can use my bringing my dreams to fruition to earn that rent. See what I'm saying? When you allow yourself to think critically, you then free yourself to see the options that you didn't realize were existing already, were already being presented to you. The human brain, right, wrong, left, right, light, darkness. No, there's a gradation that occurs. Be the hunter, not the hunted, but it's in reverse. This is about receiving. It's in reverse. So it's telling me you're still in a space where you are not sure if you want to allow yourself to receive, right? You are not yet sure. What do you need to do? Probably make sure of something. I need to maybe consider what the possibilities are. Hold on really quick, guys. Card number 19, dream a beautiful dream. You're at the epicenter. Dream a dream. That's everything you could have ever wanted. You know? That's everything that will help you to better understand the gravity of your purpose. You're going to bring it into form. You notice how this doesn't carry with it the impression, the feeling, the assumption of running or fast movement, right? For me, this looks like a slow and steady pace. Slow and steady pace, consistent movement. Does that mean fast movement? I get nothing in this picture that makes me feel like it's a fast, sudden, abrupt type of movement, right? Card number 22, she feels, she knows. You know the pace that you need to take to bring all of this to fruition. You know the direction, you have a general sense, you have a good feeling of the type of commitment you need to make to this, right? Okay, I was going to pull one final card. You know, my bladder's full. My bladder is full. So Billy says it looks like a swift dance. Otaku says looks like a jog. You will see this based on wherever your perception is right now. There's no right or wrong. And the way you see this image will tell you exactly where you are. So there were quite a few times over the years, because I've had this deck for years, where it seemed like, is that person walking towards me or away? Like, what is this? Are they walking backwards? You know? And at that time, when I was seeing it in that way, I felt like I was being pulled backwards by life. I think one of the most powerful things we can do is really begin to assess the way we perceive things and the reason why we perceive it that way. Did you know that when you read someone's text message, email, whatever it is, that you are reading that with the same filter your emotions are currently residing in? So someone can be like, um, something like, today's really been challenging, or what, I don't know. I'm not disclosing what areas of the country I'm considering for the sanctuary for the safety of the people who will be at the sanctuary. It will be a private location for the sanctuary. It's going to be a campus and there will be long-term residents. And out of respect for residents, because it's not just going to, you can't volunteer for a weekend. It's an entire process where you need to apply and be interviewed, background checked, be really vetted, because it's a longer term commitment. So once the person goes through that, and it's something that's in alignment, all the checkpoints are a green light, then we'll begin discussing with the individual where the location is, the length of stay, all those really important details. And if the person chooses to go forward, it's in alignment with what they're willing to commit to, and all of that, then it's a go. But yeah, but we're not sharing the location, because I'm in the middle of a criminal case for a stalker who wants to discover the location. So I'd be very, very transparent with the reasons for the lack of publicly accessible information. It's for safety. Absolutely. The safety of my community, both online and in person, is just there's nothing more important to me than your safety, your privacy as well. I would never want any of my personal and business things to affect other people. Yes. So, oh my God, I love that song. I used to babysit my baby cousins when when I was like, a tweener. And it was this thing of I would sing them that. I would definitely sing them that. One set of footprints in the sand. Lord, you promised me you'd hold my hand. I love that. Y'all, some people are like, oh, Emmy's anti-religion. Emmy's anti-Christianity. Are you kidding me? Jesus is my homie. Jesus loves me. I'm not even joking. Jesus is my homie. I love Jesus. Okay, so I do have a full bladder still. I got to get going. I know TMI. I do TMI. Anyways, I hope that everything that, we've kind of shared with each other, I hope that it takes you one step closer, if not more, towards realizing your dreams are already on their way. Everything is in place. You have everything you could possibly need stored inside you, waiting for an opportunity to be able to serve you and your purpose. Life is beautiful, even when we can't see the beauty. Life is beautiful, even when we are so overwhelmed by the struggle. It's beautiful. Let yourself always be reminded just how beautiful your life is. And in the times where you can't see the beauty, create some. Don't just seek it out. Actually create it for yourself. Okay, guys? So I hope you guys find the courage to live the life that's worthy of you. I know many of you will. And it makes me very, very proud to be a part of your journey in some way. It makes me very, very proud and honored, very humbled as well. I don't know why y'all would listen to me. I'm fucking a wild card. Even I don't know what the hell's going to come out my mouth. I don't most of the time. I gotta pee. Okay, guys. I love you. Give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Healthy bladder means a happy life. Bye, everyone.